The Steelers will wear their Color Rush uniforms this week when they play the Miami Dolphins at Acrisure Stadium on Monday Night Football, the first time they have worn the uniforms during the 2025 season. It will also be a night when the organization welcomes 3 new members to the Hall of Honor in Joey Porter Sr., Marquise Pouncey, and Ben Roethlisberger. The Steelers own an 8-3 record when wearing the Color Rush uniforms. "I think the Color Rush is awesome," said linebacker TJ Watt. "I think it's great for the fans to bring energy and for us to have a different look. An all-black look is always cool. We usually perform really well in them, so I'm excited to wear them." The Color Rush uniform has become a favorite with players and fans alike, a monochromatic look that was first introduced to wear primarily on Thursday Night Football. The uniform is a black jersey with gold numbers and gold stripes on the sleeves, while the pants are all black with a gold stripe. "It's kind of a stealth look," said linebacker Patrick Queen. "I like the all-black uniform with a little gold highlight in them and the block numbers. You can't beat the block numbers, so it's an all-around good uniform. It's a very discreet, low-key look. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just cool. It's a great look. The all-black with the block members and a little highlight of gold is a good look. I think it gives off an intimidating look. It's a night game, primetime game. That goes hand in hand. Night game, all black, can't beat it." The Steelers first wore the uniforms on Christmas Day in 2016 when they defeated the Baltimore Ravens 31-27 to win the AFC North. The team also wore them in 2017 against the Tennessee Titans, a 40-17 win. "Obviously, we have the traditional uniforms that stand out," said receiver Calvin Austin III. "But the all-black aspect, it gives you that different feel, and it's definitely just a cool-looking uniform in general. It brings energy when we wear them too. When you see us coming out of the tunnel in them, it definitely gets the vibes of being intimidating and, like PQ said, stealth." In 2018, the team wore them twice, the first time on Thursday Night Football when they defeated the Carolina Panthers 52-21. They wore them a second time against the New England Patriots, a 17-10 win. The team also wore them twice in 2019, including a win over the Miami Dolphins, 27-14 on Monday Night Football. In 2020, the Steelers defeated the Ravens, 19-14, in a Color Rush game. They defeated the Chicago Bears wearing them in 2021. Most recently, the Steelers defeated the New York Giants, 26-18, on Monday Night Football at Acrisure Stadium. "It's nice to get to put on black pants, change it up a little bit," said linebacker Peyton Wilson. "We usually wear all yellow pants, so it's nice to change it a little. The Color Rush uniforms are cool, and especially ours because they're all black and are all business." Former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Steven Sims has signed with the Arizona Cardinals on their practice squad after a tryout. Sims inked a deal with the Seattle Seahawks in March, but was unable to make their team. In addition to being a wide receiver, Sims is known for being a skilled punt returner. Sims played in 7 games but did not record a reception. He has 7 kick returns for 195 yards and 16 punt returns for 99 yards. Sims added 1 rush for 0 yards to his offensive numbers a year ago. Sims broke into the NFL out of Kansas and earned his way onto the Washington Commanders roster. However, the Steelers picked him up after that, and Sims was the team's returner and slot receiver in the 2022 season. Yet, they let him walk in the offseason, and Sims joined the Texans. He has been with the team since that time. Over his career, Sims has over 1,700 return yards and added 78 receptions for 784 yards with 7 total touchdowns. Now, he will try to get into the Cardinals' wide receiver room and get onto the field before the season ends after the Cardinals have torpedoed their season down the stretch. The Pittsburgh Steelers needed a younger breakout star who could help an aging roster put together enough wins to earn a spot in the AFC playoff picture, and they have received just that type of fortunate bounce thanks to a career year from defensive back James Pierre. Pierre, a former UDFA who is now in his 6th season with the Steelers, has emerged as one of the best cornerbacks in the AFC, announcing himself as such with a masterclass against the Baltimore Ravens that put the Steelers in the pole position in the AFC North. While many outside observers were surprised that a player with Pierre's relative lack of hype could put together a sterling performance like this, but head coach Mike Tomlin could see this breakout coming from a mile away due to the work he has been putting in. "It's him," Tomlin said of the former Florida Atlantic free agent fresh off intercepting his cousin, Lamar Jackson. "Ask any of his teammates. He's tough-minded. The tough road is not something that's new to him. He's played it up mentality." Pierre's 86.0 overall grade ranks third among all cornerbacks in the NFL, while his coverage grade is second only to Seattle's Devin Witherspoon. Even there, Pierre is literally 0.1 points behind Witherspoon for the right of top dog across the entire NFL. Mike Tomlin shouts out rising Steelers CB James Pierre. Pierre's breakout could not have come at a better time for a Steelers secondary that is still reeling from the unfulfilled expectations they set for themselves earlier in the year. Jalen Ramsey doesn't look like the future Hall of Famer the Steelers thought they were getting, and Darius Slay was so poor that Pittsburgh ended up releasing him. On a Steelers team that is very much operating on a knife edge in a very crowded and competitive AFC North, getting someone like Pierre to break out could be an X factor that helps Mike Tomlin put some distance between himself and the rest of the division. Even as Tomlin approaches what may be the end of his Steelers career, there are a few developmental success stories he can claim to have a hand in, and Pierre is one of those unheralded players who have devoted themselves to the gospel of Tomlin. The result is a cornerback that is giving a disappointing defense the verve it needs to get back in shape. The Pittsburgh Steelers are having a roller coaster of a season, but after 14 weeks, they sit atop the AFC North with a 7-6 record. If the Steelers can hold things together down the stretch of the season, they will win the division and make the playoffs, where anything can happen. Still, regardless of how the season ends for Pittsburgh, the team has a ton of issues it needs to address, and that's why the 2026 draft will be huge for the franchise. With the draft still months away, the Steelers have several directions they could go in the first round. A few of FanSided's draft experts looked at a couple of those directions in a recent 2026 mock draft. The three experts, Mike Luciano, Marcus Mosher, and Ryan Fowler, each picked a prospect for all 32 slots. For the Steelers, picking at number 14, Luciano and Mosher predicted the team would land Ohio State receiver Carnell Tate, while Fowler had Pittsburgh drafting Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. Steelers land offensive playmakers in recent mock draft. It's been clear all season that Pittsburgh needs a WR2. The team moved on from George Pickens, who's having a career year this season, and it proved to be a costly decision, as the Steelers have struggled to find competent wide receiver play outside of DK Metcalf. Adding Carnell Tate in the first round would certainly help with that. Tate, arguably the top receiver in the 2026 draft class, is likely nearing the end of a productive college career at Ohio State. This season, he has 48 receptions for 838 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's why Moshe referred to Tate as the ideal fit to complement Metcalf. The question, though, is who would be throwing the duo the ball. That's why the other predicted pick of Ty Simpson by Fowler is understandable in the sense that Pittsburgh needs a quarterback of the future. However, that quarterback is unlikely to be Simpson. The first-year starter for the Tide has struggled down the stretch of his season, and his stock isn't as high as it once was. If he still decides to declare for the draft, he probably won't go in the first round, unless a team like the Steelers just desperately reaches. That means Pittsburgh is more likely to end up with a playmaker like Tate.